Say, these are my intentions, it doesn't mean that anyone wants to join me in those intentions. But being clear on them is almost like a resonance I put in the world. And through that resonance, I give other people the opportunity to decide, hey, I connect to where you're going, and therefore I'm going to join you on that journey. And I see when people don't set intention, it confuses the hell out of people, and it kind of doesn't get what I would almost say is, in everything I'm doing, I'm always looking to get the buy-in.
Okay, Andy, so this chapter is interesting because I think we both agree that intentions are super powerful. And in this chapter, it seems like you want to get people in touch with their intentions so they can understand, good or not, whether they're actually becoming a barrier to connection. Is that right?
Yeah, there's two elements to for me, use of intention. First is I don't want to create any unnecessary negative reactions in a person. That would be the first. And then the second is I would love to invite them to join me in something that would potentially benefit both of us. So in giving an intention, which would be like, let's look at you coming here. So when you and I spoke, I could have said, hey, I want to record 30 videos. Are you down for it? You might have said yes. I don't know. But for me, it was, I said to you, I think something there is like, I'm going through the book and I just don't like it. It's not rich enough. It's not, as you can see, the topics we're discussing. This is heavy duty stuff. So not to give a support for the content just didn't feel right. So in sharing with you is say, hey, I love what I've done, but I'm holding on it until I feel like it's responsible to put it out. What I'd love to do is have content that supplements it. I'd like to do 30. Would you be open to it? And that was for me giving you a clear vision of what I had in mind, so you could, and the invitation, so you could decide, how you would, process and make a decision.
So it seems like, intention is kind of like an invitation.
Yes.
Right. But as we know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes.
What do you do? What do you do how do you know that your intention is leading in a direction that's going to allow for connection, and when's it not? How do you see that? How do you get beyond the fact that you have a great intention and it just gets totally blown off, totally blown out of the water in the wrong direction?
I think it happens all the time. And how I would navigate it is that I would say, these are my intentions. It doesn't mean that anyone wants to join me in those intentions. But being clear on them is almost like a resonance I put in the world. And through that resonance, I give other people the opportunity to decide, hey, I connect to where you're going, and therefore I'm going to join you on that journey. And I see when people don't set intention, it confuses the hell out of people, and it kind of doesn't get what I would almost say is, in everything I'm doing, I'm always looking to get the buy-in. Always. Always the buy-in. If no buy-in, then I think, wow, they don't even know why they're doing this. Why would they want to continue doing it? So I do it every day, almost always. If I'm asking Ronnie to do something, I probably wouldn't just ask her to do it. I would say to her, babe, just so you understand why I'm doing this, is I'm trying to get here, and this is the way that I've kind of felt is best to get there. And then it gives her a chance also to feed in and say, no, that isn't the best way. But I'm always kind of making the intention clear, which again helps the others join me in that process.
Well, I get where you want to go here,
okay.
But let me give you an example of what I guess I don't understand how this all plays together. So I have a family member who's making a lot of choices in life that I think, I know are going to lead to bad things.
Yeah.
Whether that's ending up in jail or something worse. And my intention out of love is to challenge them about this direction and to get them on a track that's not going to lead them to devastating consequences for themselves or for the rest of their family, everybody else. And no matter what I do, even if I start with, look, I'm telling you this because I love you and I want the best for you, right? I'm being very clear about my intentions. The person still looks at it like, hey, you're not the boss of my life. Yeah. You're not. You're telling me stuff. I don't care what you're telling me because you just want to control me.
Yeah.
And even when I'm clear on the intentions, it's not having any impact because of the perspective of the other person. So what's there to do there?
So this goes back to a word that anyone who spends any time around me almost gets frustrated hearing me: conditions. And so I would ask that word because I'm always checking, are the conditions there for a healthy relationship, for a healthy communication?
So what you're saying is my family member, there's not a condition, but what do you mean by that?
The condition, we go back to chapters 1 and chapter 2. So if you were to rank on a scale of 1 to 10 how much trust there is, and if you were to rank on a scale of 1 to 10 how much respect there is, would you say, oh, they're both very, very high, so that interaction we have is going to be deep and meaningful?
But and in this case, the trust and respect I have for this person might be high.
Yes.
But how do I know where theirs is?
You know through the interaction, because they'll interact with you in a way that shows where they show up on that graph. So if you treat them with trust and respect, it doesn't mean you're going to receive it in return. That goes back to the personal responsibility chapter. You're taking full personal responsibility, but it doesn't mean that someone's going to meet you there. And then I would take it, of course, in my own practices back to the self-love practice, and I would say, I'm helpless to help this person, and that's okay. I love this person even if they can't receive the love I can give them, and it's okay. So I make peace with that, and then I just sit with them with whatever's possible. Yeah, the book, sorry?
That's tough. That's tough.
It's not easy. This book is not trying to teach you how to make every situation in your life work perfectly. No way. What it's doing is saying, wow, if the conditions aren't there, what can I really expect? And let's start there first, and let me see what personal responsibility can I take in this interaction. And then you will see from that personal responsibility what qualities emerged that may or may not have been there beforehand. But a lot of times it's just you can do the best you can, but you can show up to the table, but the other person doesn't need to meet you there.
Take the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.